Do you want to generate image like all these images? Do you want to enhance the image? Do you want to restore a black and white photo? Change some parts of the image? Do some crazy stuff like these photos? Do you want to generate videos? Yes, all this you can do easily from your computer and without any cost. Yes, it's absolutely free. You just need ComfyUI. It looks like this, a bit intimidating at this moment, but I'll go through with you step by step how to set it, how to give prompt, and then finally generate stunning photographs. Now, first of all, what is ComfyUI? So ComfyUI is a free open source program that let any user to generate from text prompts like this. Here we are giving text prompts, and finally here we'll get the image. I'll show how anyone with or without any coding experience, you can leverage on this. This is the true democratization of generative AI. Why to use this? It's extremely powerful and flexible. You don't need to code anything. You just need to link all this node with all these links, and there are many open source models available. You just need to tap on those. It's a node-based program, graph nodes, flowchart kind of interface. Supports a lot of open source models like Stable Diffusion, SDXL, Flux, Stable Video, and most importantly, you can set it up locally on your computer, whether you have a GPU or you are running on CPU, you still can use it. It's not like any other those online sites or your mobile app where after some time or some usage or complex usage, they will ask for money to be paid. Now, this tutorial, I have made it absolutely focus on local installation. How to use locally. There are 3 simple ways it can be implemented locally. But before that, first step is to check operating system, and if you have any GPU, what is the setup for it. So for operating system, we can right click and then go to system information. If you go down in the system information, you go to about. Here you can see my system, it's had Intel Core i7 CPU. The RAM is 16 GB and I am running it on Windows 11. Now next thing, we need to check if you have a GPU. My system is NVIDIA, so you can right click on the desktop, click on more options, go to NVIDIA panel display. Once you are in NVIDIA panel, you can go to the left bottom and here you will see system information. Just click in it and you will see one dialog pop up. So it shows the driver version, and if you scroll a little bit, you will see the dedicated video memory, which is very important for all this generative AI, because all this will be more efficiently it can run on GPUs, and larger the video memory, usually more sophisticated models you'll be able to use. My system is not so great one, but still I'll show with this limited capability system itself, I'm able to generate a lot of stunning photos and videos. So here I have 6 GB video RAM. Another way, you can go to command prompt and you can type NVIDIA, that's SMI, which stands for System Management Interface. And you can see the CUDA version, my system is already installed with latest version 12.6 at the time of this recording, and this is the video RAM 6144M. I have a driver version 560.94. So you might have to install all this from NVIDIA website if you don't have the version, but may not be required because most of the time it will be pre-installed, and unless and until you are really doing coding using PyTorch or CUDA, whatever default comes in should be good enough for this ComfyUI. Now CUDA stands for Compute Unified Device Architecture, and all this generative AI use GPU for accelerating the computation, and CUDA plays a vital role in it. This is the interface between GPU, the hardware, and the software component like PyTorch. And ComfyUI will be referring it heavily. Now at this stage, I have checked in my system, I have Windows 11 and I have CUDA as well as GPU installed. So next step would be install ComfyUI. ComfyUI can be installed in one of the three ways. Easiest way could be going to Pinokio. You search for Pinokio, you will get the Pinokio website. You can go there and download from here. In my system, I have already installed Pinokio. So this is how this interface looks like. So once Pinokio is launched in your system, you can go to Discover and you can see all the different models or AI tools that you can. For our case here, this is the ComfyUI. So you can go and download and install. But this is not the way I'm going to refer ComfyUI here. The second option for ComfyUI is to go to the ComfyUI website. This is the official ComfyUI website. These stunning videos are built using ComfyUI and either Stable Diffusion or Flux or some kind of model. Now, once you are in ComfyUI, you may want to go to Docs. Inside Docs, you will see introduction and there is installation. Other than Pinokio, there are two different ways through which you can install ComfyUI. One is pbuild package. What you need to do is for Windows, just download it and then you can extract. So just click on download. It will take a while and you give the specific location where you want to save. It will take a while to download. So it is downloaded here. Now I'll extract it using 7-zip. It will take a while. Next, I'll talk about manual installation. For that, you go to this tab, manual installation, and here we are looking for Windows. Now, this is the one I would recommend all of you to install. You need to have Git installed. So you can see here is something mentioned as you need to install Visual C++ redistributable. Please install it here. So if you don't have it, you can install it. Most of the times it's available in most of the computers. If you don't have Git, you need to install Git. I'm not going through any of this installation. So first you create a folder somewhere in your C drive or D drive. I have created a folder called ComfyUI. You open command prompt and I have created a folder ComfyUI. So first cd to this folder. Next you have to do the git clone. You can copy from here and perform git clone. Press enter and it will go through. I have already done it, so I'm not showing explicitly. Once git clone is completed, you will see inside ComfyUI folder, some folders are created. Most importantly, models is one where you will be keeping all the model that will be downloading from Hugging Face or other open source providers. Now let's go back and we try to create the virtual environment. So if you have Conda or Miniconda, you can use Conda create. I'll be using Conda to create virtual environment. I'm calling it Comfy. It's warning me that this already exists because I have already created. So in this case, I am exiting here, but you should go ahead by providing Y and create the virtual environment. Next step would be to activate the environment. So now the environment is activated. We are in ComfyUI folder. Next thing that I need to do is to invoke the main Python program. So you can see, since installation is successfully completed, everything is available there. ComfyUI will start. It will start loading all the libraries, all the folders, Once this is done, you will see that this graphical user interface at local server, which is pointing to this location, is available. So control click and it will open in the browser. It will take a while. By default, it will look something like this. So once this is available, you are done with ComfyUI installation. But at this stage, I'll strongly recommend you to install ComfyUI Manager. You will realize it once we start exploring ComfyUI. We start utilizing different nodes, different options, and monitoring and checking different models availability. All this, the life will be much easier if you install ComfyUI Manager. ComfyUI Manager, for that, we'll go to GitHub, you can search for ComfyUI Manager, and you will get this page. And after you install the ComfyUI Manager, it will look something like this. Now, how to install? First, you need to go to this custom node, where inside custom node, from here, you can launch another command prompt and perform git cloning. So clone this, press enter, and once it is finished, you are done. I already have installed, so I'm not showing you the completion process. Once that is done, you restart and again follow the steps, like going to open the command prompt, go to cd ComfyUI. So you need to activate Comfy environment. Once the environment is activated, you need to trigger. It will load everything. So everything is loaded. So default setup is ready, and you will see there is something called manager here. Once you click in the manager, your manager view is available. A lot of interesting information is there. Most important, you can use the update all to update all the nodes. There is a custom nodes manager. So all the custom nodes that are being created, all will be listed here. You can search and find appropriate one that is required for your specific model or specific workflow. Now, before we dive into ComfyUI Manager, let's have a quick look at the workflow, the basic structure of workflow in ComfyUI. So at the right side of it, you will see some menu where you can do the load is you can load external workflow. You can download workflow from many places and store it somewhere. The refresh is once you load something or change something, you need to refresh so that it picks the latest information. Clear is very clear. Clip space I haven't used often. Load default is this is the default value. If I click it, I can, if you are in another workflow, you can directly jump into this default workflow that comes with ComfyUI. You can reset the view if you are like, you can zoom it, you can move it, drag it. You can see this light blue line, right? This is like a canvas workspace. This is the boundary. So if you create any workflow, it's better to keep everything inside. Now, this workflow, these are called nodes, and some are standard nodes, many are like custom nodes. This is the prompt area. You can see all of them, all these boxes have specific names, and these nodes is built specifically for prompting. You can right click and you can see there are a lot of options available. You can change the title, you can resize, you can do a lot of other stuff. So most of the times we will have a checkpoint load. This is coming from a diffusion concept, but basically you can think of this is like the core model that will be running for creating the image. This is where we will be giving prompt. There is positive prompt where we will give what we want, and negative prompt is what we don't want to see. Then diffusion model, it starts from a latent image, and then slowly after multiple iteration, it will denoise the image, and finally it will create the image based on the instruction that you have given. So K-Simpler is more like running multiple iteration, and it has got random seed. It has also got some of the key aspect of how to control it. This is a simple K-Simpler. There are many sophisticated K-Simpler used for various models to control its behavior as expected. Now, here you can see CFG. This is very important, how to classifier free guidance. This is the guidance you are giving to the model, like how it should follow. So you can play around it. Usually, in many cases, it's kept around 2 to 7, but it depends on what you are looking for. You can get a hang of it once you start using it. There are sampler. You don't need to know too much at this stage, but all these fields play vital role when you are tuning your image or you are trying to get some specific aspect of image corrected or targeting. So denoise is also important. At a point of time, you will become comfortable with all these values and you yourself will be able to use them as per your need. The other important thing is decoder. This is VAE decode node. You start it with a latent image, then you decode it to create the final image. There are few things what you can do. You can preview the image, you can save the image. So one of the option is here, you can double click and you can see, you can type like what is the node you want to use. So suppose I want a preview image. So this is the preview image node. Here is the connector. I can connect it to this image output. So see, this is connected here. And if I want, I can keep it. There are a few options to pause it, this part, and reactivate, or even if I want, I can just delete it. Now to explain or see how this model works, we need a checkpoint model. I have already installed, but you need to find a model. And that's where it comes, where from I can get the model. One of the place is to go to Hugging Face. If you search Hugging Face, you see all these models are available. Suppose you are looking for a text to image. So if you go here, computer vision, so these are the text to image. And you see at this moment, Flux models are extremely popular. Latest version of Stable Diffusion is 3.5, but you have to be careful which model you can use because you are running locally. The size of the models are extremely large and some of them require very large video RAM. So based on your system configuration, you can choose. You need to register in Hugging Face. Myself already registered here. So once registered, you can use specific model. So that's one option. So another option is to go to this CVTI. Here you can see the models. I'll search for SDXL, Standard Diffusion XL models. Here you can filter out. So I am looking for maybe SDXL 1.0 and maybe relevance. So you will get some of the popular one. It will come here. Once you go inside, there are few different versions of it. Based on workflow requirement, you can download. So if you can see, this is overwhelmingly positive. So this is a very popular model. So you can download from here like this. And after download, you have to keep it to the right folder. Like as I said, here in the ComfyUI, all these folders, there is models. Inside models, there is checkpoint. So if you go here, you will find there is checkpoints. I have downloaded few models. So you can put them here. Another option is to use manager. So in the manager, you will see there is something called model manager. So you can go here and model and you can say SDXL. So there are many models available. You need to know the right model that you need to use. Here we are looking for checkpoint. So you can filter it further, filter it checkpoint. And based on your system configuration, you can take one of them, maybe SDXL base soft tensors. This is what I have taken, but there are many other model like SDXL turbo or something. You can click and it will install. Once it is installed, you just have to refresh. Once the model is available, next thing here is to point it to the correct model. Here I am using Real Vis XL, the lightning model, and I'll give a prompt, maybe a beautiful building, sunny day. I can also say green landscaping. And here for as a negative prompt, I'm just saying that I don't want text, I don't want watermark. Once all this is set, next step is, since I am just previewing it, submit the prompt. And it will take a while depending on systems. You will see the prompt is given. So in your command prompt, you will get all the details like how the processing is progressing. You can see it's loading one model and now it's going step by step. And here in the preview, you see it has already started generating and refining one nice building. So this is the building. You can change the size. Suppose you don't want to 112, maybe we can set it 1024, and again we can run it. Now you can see next time if you are not changing anything else, say either changing prompt or something, it will directly start from this node. It's not going to load the model because the model is already loaded and it's there in cache or buffer. Now this is a size of width 1024 and height 512 pixel. And this is the final image. Isn't it stunning? Hope you like this video. But before we end, I want to show something which will be very useful later when you do it every day. And it's quite tedious to go through the activate, conda and something. So what we can do is create a bat file. So for that, what I have done is I have created a .bat file where I have kept all the command prompt instruction. Let me show it. If you want to run series of command prompt instruction, you can create a file with extension .bat and you can give this sequence of instruction. First start with at the rate of echo of. First step for me was to go to ComfyUI folder. So here I'm starting with cd and I'm giving the full path to first go to this folder. After that, I need to activate the conda. So for that, I can make a call to activate ComfyNV. You just have to remember that unlike in command prompt where you have directly given, here you need to give the full path. And then remember we had that Python main.py that you can set. You can use some timeout just to keep the command prompt alive and then later pause. You save it and next time you don't need to keep all this command. Let me show you. So just double click it. You can keep it anywhere because it's already pointing to the right location. See, it has started, it has picked all the information and it's opening the ComfyUI. Isn't it easy? So what you are waiting for? Just get started. It may take a while for you to get hang of it, but once you are comfortable, you will find it extremely useful and it would be a nice addition to your toolbox. So thank you so much. Let me know if you face any trouble or any challenge in comments, and I look forward to see you in next video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more exciting content on machine learning and AI.